Welcome, fellow artists, to my fourth in a series of broadcasts on art-related subjects. Last week we did a block-in on this particular painting off of this particular photo. And I thought we were going to finish this week, but I've decided that rather than finish this and start a cloud study, we would just do a cloud study because it'll take a little more time than it would if we worked on this and that. So we'll leave this to dry for another week, and I know you haven't caught up with me yet anyway, so you can work on this and then we'll finish it next time. And today I thought we would do a cloud study off of this photo right here, and we'll do it on a 20 by 30, starting with a this is a toned canvas already, so we've already got the acrylic warm base back there. To start off, we will use a rather large fluffy filbert, number 6. And we're going to mix mostly whites, grays, and purples. So we're going to start off with a big mix here of white. And we'll start with the clouds and then add, like we did with this one, we started with the clouds over the pink background, and then we add the blue sky around it. So we're going to get a big old blob of white going on here with a little bit of Payne's gray mixed into it, off to the side. Then a little bit of ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson to make our purple. Over here, this will be our purple pile. This will be our gray pile. And we'll mix both of those into the white so that we have a gradation of colors going on in our palette here. And we will add a little bit of blue to that. It depends on the time of day as to the temperature of these clouds. This is fairly midday, so it's early in the day, so we're not having a lot of color in the clouds. This one that I did behind me here, if you can see it, is a little later in the afternoon, and we're getting long shadows. There's much more color in the clouds. A lot of pinks and yellows. The purples are a little more magnified. But this is midday, so we're going to have a little bit of a cooler palette. It's going to be more whites, more blues, a little less pink and yellow, but we will still have some of that. So what we want to do first is establish where the cloud's going to be. So we want to sort of rough out our lines here. This, we want to start about here and go up here, bring it over around, and it ends up right about there. Just get a rough outline of where you want this to be. And coming down, the bottom of it will be right down here. We're not going to have much in the way of landscape. It'll just be a small area down here. So this is going to be mostly a cloudscape. So we'll start right in once we've got the shape that we want in the blue-gray color, and sort of block it in like we do everything. You got to get a lot of paint so that you can push it around. If you don't have enough paint going on and you have to constantly keep mixing, not only takes more time, sometimes you don't get the right mix. So you want to get a big puddle. So we're doing this gray area down here. Go up to the area of the light. Interesting shape on this cloud. It's got a nice sweep to it, nice shape. Which is why I selected it. And very dramatic and dark down in this area here, but we'll do that a little later. So we've got this color mixed. Going to add a little more ultramarine to the mix because it's starting to get a little bluer over here in this area. Add a little alizarin crimson to it, make it slightly more purple. The light here is coming mostly from above, so it's going to have mostly highlight on the top and dark underneath. So we want to rough this area out here in large swaths of color. Going up, which is there's a nice sweep there. Going up to the right. Are we having fun yet? Yeah. This is my favorite part of a painting is the block in, and because you're so free, and you do large brush strokes. Keep it loose, and with the clouds, you just do large sweeping vistas. And then tweak it a little bit here and there once you've got the paint down. Still a little darker in that area. So a little more blue, a little more red, maybe a touch more of the Payne's gray right in this area. So this cloud right here is causing a shadow underneath it. So we want to get that a little bit darker. And again, we can tweak it in the finish too. This is just the block in. But we're going to get it close as we can, right? Over here, more gray. There's a little white area right in there. So, in fact, this whole area might just as well be done in gray, and then we can add the lighter areas on top of it. So we'll just throw the paint on here. And this is quite a large area, so it's going to be a challenge to get this done in a half an hour. So we're working fast and furious. Making that paintbrush fly. So now the transition from the purple into the white is going to be pink. So we're going to add a little more red to the white. Alizarin crimson, not cadmium. And we're going along the edge of the purple. And blend it into the gray purple. Can you see what I'm doing? Just lay a big swath of pink along there. And then just work it. Work that brush, baby. Work it, work it. Down into the gray. Soften up the edges. Okay, there's a little bit of pink in these clouds here as well. And on the top of these clouds, a little bit more pinkish. And down in here, that's quite a bit of pink right in there. And down in this area. And in this center area too, this large white expanse area here, which is a cloud in front of the cloud. It's pink around the edges and white in the middle. You see how this underpainting underneath it warms it up so that you don't have a cool white surface. Actually, if it was white, you wouldn't be able to see the light colors, the white colors. So it's better to have a tinted canvas in the pink tones to show the white values, the light values. Hmm?
Anytime you talk like that.
I'm running out of white. You use a lot of white doing a cloudscape. Okay, down here again, more of the pink. The pink is the transition color between the dark and the light. It's almost always in a red tone, a pink or a red, where you're going from light to dark. We'll do all of this fairly light, add the dark over it later. And then also there's a very light pinkish area on the bottom. Right down in here, it's fairly light. And then in between, it's very dark. So we'll take another brush to do the really dark areas. And I'll leave this one for the white areas. So let's mix some Payne's gray and a little more of the purple, which is ultramarine and alizarin crimson. Get a shot of white in there. Okay. And that looks pretty close. Let's try it. Yeah, pretty close. A little bit on the purple side, so let's gray it down. Add a little more white. So this is going to be along the bottom shadow of the cloud. And over up into here. Bring it down into the white in sort of a jagged pattern so that the edge of the cloud is very feathered, not hard-edged. You do not want hard edges in your clouds. Make them very feathered and soft. Got a round edge here where there's a little bit of gray going on. Okay, now it's time for the white right up on top, and we're going to add pure white with a little bit of yellow ochre and a little bit of alizarin crimson to make it sort of pinkish yellow. Warm it up a little bit and go all the way to the top and do this top area first. Keep it pure.
Hit that button again on that.
Okay, it comes down into the gray, pink here. And it goes along here, up into the blue sky. And along here. Keep it fairly loose, keep it very feathery and blended into the gray. Avoid hard edges. This is interesting. It's got a nice little hook up here into the sky. Bring this paint over into this area, which is nice and light, under the dark area. Okay, we got the rough outline of what we want. Let's continue to tweak a little bit, more highlight right in here. A little more highlight up in here. And right in the center, there's this nice white cloud in front of the cloud. Sometimes they're darker and sometimes they're lighter, depends if the sun's hitting it or not. So the sun's hitting this one and it creates a nice little cloud in front of a cloud. Okay, now we take the fan brush and we start blending. Take out the hard edges, blend everything together. Blend the darks into the lights into the darks. And right down here, we want to blend that a little bit more. Yeah, the secret to the success with clouds is to have no hard edges. One color blends nice and softly into another. So that's it for the block in on the cloud. Now we want to do the sky around it. So we mix a little of the cerulean blue into the white, maybe some ultramarine. How much time have we got, Mr. Cameraman?
8.5 minutes.
8.5 minutes, okay. Let's get a little more ultramarine. That's pretty close to what we want, I think. Yeah. It's a fairly large canvas, which is difficult to do in a half an hour, but I wanted you to get, the sweep of something large so that you can see the detail a little bit better. So you do the sky in this color, bring it down right into the cloud, and blend those two edges. Try to make them irregular and soft. Yeah, it's just starting to take shape. The blue makes the white stand out so that you get more contrast. And everything starts to fit together. So let's bring the blue a little bit further down. And of course, the further down the blue goes, the lighter it gets. So you can see here that down in this area, which is going to be here, it's almost turquoise because you're adding a lot of yellow to it, maybe a little bit of pink. There's quite a bit of color in skies and clouds if you take the time to notice it. Yeah, so down in here, in the interest of time, I'll mix that for you. We're mixing a little yellow ochre into our cerulean blue to get that turquoise robin's egg blue kind of thing. And that will be right in here. A little bit too much yellow, not enough blue. Yeah, my brush is not pure enough. It's picking up some of the gray and some of the purple, so it's starting to gray out a little bit. But that's all right. We're not trying for perfection at this stage of the game. We're trying to get close. So we'll go over this with a little pure blue color, and it will be just fine. And then the further up we get, we add more blue, more cerulean blue, I'd say, starting in here, and then add ultramarine as you get a little further up. Ooh, we're down to the wire.
It's okay if you lower.
So throw this color in here, blend these two together. And so on. Now, these little wispies that are in here, you can do with the pink again. Get the pink color going. And while it's wet, while the canvas is wet, it's an ideal time to do all the wispy things because it blends really well with the blue that's already there. There you go. You sort of get the idea. It's we need another 20 minutes or half an hour to fully finish the piece, but we're going to follow the same procedure, only do it a little bit more detailed to finish it up. We'll finish the sky, then while it's still wet, add any little wispy clouds in here that we want to. Then we let it dry, and to finish it, we'll just hit the lights again and pop them a little bit more, delineate the light and dark areas just a little more, and we'll have it finished. How much time have we got? About a minute. Okay, well.
Come back to it in 2 weeks.
How's it look? Not bad. Good start for a half an hour. And the rest is just letting it, finish it up, let it dry, and then we'll come back to it and we'll tweak it and make it the finished product on our next go-around. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed it. On our next broadcast, we will finish this painting, and we will touch this one up as well. Don't forget the DVDs Monet's Garden start to finish, and the Autumn Countryside start to finish, which you can purchase on my website, charleswhite.net, or you can get them from Lily Doll Publishers, which is www.lilypublishorders.com. Thank you very much for being with me, and we'll look forward to seeing you again.